Hello, hello, hello. It's the Hammerhead Coach coming to you. I'm on a trip. I'm actually in a hotel room. You can see it behind me. Um, Here in the Charleston, South Carolina area. Having a great time. And I am doing my As a Man Thinketh #1. So, As a Man Thinketh #1. I've done the intro. This is a video for As a Man Thinketh #1. So I'm doing a line by line, verse by verse commentary on the book As a Man Thinketh, written by James Allen. It's a small book. It's meant a lot to me. As I said in the intro, it's meant a lot to my life. So I wanted to go through each one. I wanted to kind of give an idea of what I think about each one. I'm a lay person. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not overly educated in any way about psychology. I have made a study of how people think, how you can think for success. So the first verse that we're working on, and the intro was about the entire book, but the first verse is written, the first page, first chapter is thought and character is the first chapter. First verse actually says, the aphorism, by the way, is a pithy observation that contains a general truth. I had to look that up. We don't use aphorism as a daily word here in the 21st century. The aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. So this is going to be, it probably take me 3 sessions to cover just this first verse. Okay, this first sentence, verse. I'm using the word verse not to insult believers in the Bible, just as a way to get you the idea. I'm only talking about one particular little thought at a time. Okay, so the aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart. So the first question is for you, is we have to talk about what is the heart, right? What is a heart? What is a heart thought? Do you think randomly? Does your mind just go and it thinks about whatever it wants, or does it think about what you want it to think about? Okay. The overall goal of this book is to learn to control and direct and focus your thought on what you want it to think about. Because as the end of this first sentence or this first verse or this first thought goes, all right, it embraces the whole of a man's being and is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. So every part of your life is affected by what you think. Okay, as the main theme of this book from me is life happens from you, it doesn't happen to you. So your life is unfolding from your inside out. It's not happening to you. Yes, you could be driving down the street today and a bus runs a red light and it slams into your car, and that is not a circumstance that you brought on yourself. But the only way to live productively is to understand that the main circumstances, the main results you're getting in life, the harvest of your life is coming from inside you. And that's all about what am I thinking. And here's the trick. As the verse says, this is a reference, by the way, this book is written about Proverbs 23:7, Proverbs 23:7. That's the verse. For those of you not a Christian or don't believe in the Bible, it's still a truth. Truth is truth, whether you believe in it or not. Yeah, I could jump off this 4-story building right now, and the whole time I'm falling down, I can be yelling that I don't believe in gravity. Gravity doesn't affect me. I'm above gravity. It's not a truth that I believe in, and before I get too many of those sentences out, I'm going to be splat like a bug on a windshield when I hit the ground. Because truth is truth, principles are principles, laws are laws. You can live with them, you can work within them, you can get them working for you, or you can live a life of failure while you're fighting about it. My wife always gets mad at me because I don't like following the laws of the land, like traffic laws. So I end up paying the price for that. I'm gonna reap that harvest. But so, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are what you are thinking, but not just what you're thinking in your conscious mind, what you're thinking in your heart. So we all have a heart. You can say the heart is your subconscious mind. You can say the heart is the spirit man. If you're a Christian or a spiritual person, then it would be your spirit man. But either way you look at it, we are a three-part being. We have our body, right? Really, we are a spirit or a subconscious mind or a eternal being that has a mind, a conscious mind that thinks and talks. It's your mind, your decision-making process, your will and your emotions, and also that has a body. So the body is the third expression of that. So spirit man, subconscious mind, conscious mind, and also conscious mind includes your mind, will, and emotions, and then your body. Okay, so my body is not in charge. The way to live successfully, of course, is to, as this verse says, is if what I'm thinking in my heart is affecting every part of my life and affecting everything I'm doing, then how do I get my heart to think the right things? Okay, that's what this first one's going to be about, is how do we understand what our heart is thinking? How do we correct what our heart is thinking if it's not something we like? Now, I will tell you, it's a very, very hard thing for most people to have the self-realization to understand what is my heart thinking. Here's an example for you. If I am, which by the way, if you go to hammerheadcoaching.com, I'm the Hammerhead Coach, hammerheadcoaching.com, there's a blog there that is paralleling this actual commentary. So there's a number one, there's an intro to As a Man Thinketh, there's a number one, As a Man Thinketh, there's a number two. It'll be the same thing on YouTube that there is on the blog. So some of you might want to read that further. But the actual heart thought is you have to start paying attention to what your heart thought. As an example, when I was a kid, we're driving along and somebody drives by in a really nice car. I grew up in South Florida, West Palm Beach. Right across the water was Palm Beach. A lot of nice cars. We'd go to the grocery store and see, 2 or 3 Rolls Royces and not be a big surprise. My mom would say, and she's a wonderful lady, I love her very much. My mom would say, well, we could never have a car like that because we're not rich people. We're not rich people, okay? We're ordinary middle-class people, okay? That's because her heart thought was that's impossible, okay? When you get up on a high dive, if any of you afraid of heights or you've never jumped off a high diving board, you jump off a high diving board or you go to the top of the high diving board and you look at everything, and what's your heart thoughts telling you, okay? It's not just your conscious mind, because you just saw 10 of your friends jump off the same high dive and every one of them swam out of the pool. Your conscious mind's telling you this is not going to hurt, everyone's doing it, it's no big deal. What is your heart thoughts telling you? What's your internal programming telling you, right? So what you are thinking about when no one's around, what you're thinking about when there's no one else talking, when you sit by yourself quietly, shut down your conscious mind and just think, what are your heart thoughts? Are you successful? Are you not successful? Are you skinny? Are you fat? Are you healthy or are you sick? Okay. I've had a problem ever since I was a young kid. I've been what you would call a linebacker or a lineman in my weight. Never been skinny, never been slender. You punch a hole in me, the first thing I'm going to say about my size or weight is I'm a heavy person, I'm a fat person, I'm a chunky person, I'm a fat Jim Belushi, or I'm not the guy that somebody say, hey, well, I'm going to meet you at a restaurant we've never met, describe yourself. I'm going to use words like, thick, chunky, linebacker, 30 pounds overweight, all those things. So I have a heart problem in my heart. My heart muscle, or my heart thought is saying or programmed with, I'm a fat person. If I don't get that changed and I don't see myself as a slender person, a healthy, slender person, if I don't reprogram myself, I'll never be able to change that. My conscious mind can never overcome my heart thoughts, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Obviously, I'm overweight. I'm in the process of solving that by doing exactly what we're talking about right now, changing heart thoughts. So identify your heart thoughts. Identify the ones that you don't want. Identify the heart thoughts that are damaging to you. And then set about changing them. Every time they come up, you've got to say the opposite. You need to keep a journal and write down those negative heart thoughts, and you need to write down the thought you want. the thoughts that are going to get you to your goals, the thoughts that are going to help your life be better, the thoughts that are going to make you have a successful life, a successful family, successful relationships. What if you are the type of person that my grandmother used to say, because she had a hard time finding a good man, she used to say, I always attract bad men. I always attract irresponsible men. I always attract men that treat me wrong. Okay, what is that? What that heart thought is programming her and her mind and her actions, so that life is, what is life giving her based on that heart thoughts? What did life give her? Irresponsible men, right? Men that didn't treat her properly. So we have to identify those heart thoughts. Then we have to make a plan of what we want, and then when they come up, we have got to systematically reprogram ourselves and look for the wins. When you have a small victory, you've got to reprogram yourself, reward yourself, pat yourself on the back. And this is an internal job. No one's going to do this for you. You can't expect your family to do this for you. Heck, if your family is like most people's families, your family is going to work against you doing this. I had a friend of mine that lived with us for a short period of time. He went from 270 pounds to 215 pounds while he was living with us. And his knees felt better. His whole health was better. But his wife was a heavy person. Next thing you know, when she came back and they were living together, she was intimidated by him being slender. A year later, he's back at 275 because his family did not help in that heart thought. It reprogrammed or helped him go back to his old heart thoughts. So you find those heart thoughts you want to get rid of. You start reprogramming them by confessions, by speaking out loud, by writing your goals and writing your new heart thoughts every single day. And weeding, you got to weed out the junk every single day. This is an internal job. It's a job only you can do. It's not a job you can sub out to anybody else. It's not a job you can ever ask anyone else to be involved in, because no one else is going to see those the way you do. And when you get these heart thoughts reprogrammed, and then all of a sudden you get in the fast lane of change, and you start making change that's so compounded, just like compounded interest, that you start getting into the unbelievable fast lane of change, unbelievable fast lane of success. And you wonder how did it take this long to do this, when in reality it didn't take very long at all once you got the heart thoughts right. Because once your internal subconscious mind, I heard a guy on the internet just this past week say that your subconscious mind or your superconscious mind or your spirit world or spirit man is not 2, 3, 4, 10 times more powerful than your conscious mind. It is actually billions of times stronger. It's like a huge bulldozer in power, and compared to having just a little ladle, a little teaspoon to dig a hole with, or to work on a construction project with. So just we can't imagine how much powerful it is. That's why our lives are an expression of what our heart thoughts are, and those are the thoughts we have to learn to control. This is going to be all about us learning how to conquer our minds, conquer our heart thoughts, reprogram our heart thoughts, and realize that life happens from within us to the outside, not vice versa. Take charge of our lives and take charge of our thoughts. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to have to close this out. I'm over 13 minutes. I didn't want to get these over 10 minutes, and I do apologize for that, but I got carried away. We'll pick this up with the As a Man Thinketh #2, and I look forward to talking to you then. And do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate each and every subscriber. Look for this on my Facebook channel, Hammerhead Coaching, and I do post my videos there also. And then, of course, my website, hammerheadcoaching.com. And my coaching is about small businesses, marketing online, and also helping the individual business person and full commission salespeople have personal coaching and accountability and growing themselves. And it's all about growing ourselves. As I said, the world happens from the inside out, not the outside in. So great talking to you. Look forward to seeing you the next time. Make it a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.